Hey guys, welcome back to Spool School. I'm so excited for today's lesson because we're diving into the wonderful world of 3D printing filaments. It's like choosing the perfect ingredient for your 3D printing recipe, except maybe not as delicious, unless you're really into the smell of hot plastic. Picking the right filament can be the difference between a beautiful, functional print and a hot mess. Trust me, I've been there. We're going to break down the most popular types of filaments, what makes them special, and what kind of projects they're best suited for. So grab your safety glasses because things are about to get extrudingly interesting. Let's get started. First up, we have PLA or polylactic acid, which might sound intimidating, but I promise it's the friendliest filament around, kind of like the golden retriever of the filament world. PLA is made from plant-based materials like cornstarch, so it's biodegradable and environmentally friendly, which makes me feel a little less guilty about all the plastic waste that ends up on my workbench. It's also non-toxic, so you don't need a hazmat suit to print with it, which is always a plus. One of the best things about PLA is that it's super easy to print with. It has a low printing temperature, so you don't need a heated bed, although it can help with warping, which is when your print decides to take on a life of its own and curl up at the edges. PLA comes in a rainbow of colors and finishes, so you can get really creative with your prints. It's also pretty affordable, which is great because you'll probably be using a lot of it, especially when you're starting out. PLA is great for a wide range of projects, from prototypes and models to decorative items and even some basic functional parts. Think phone cases, toys, vases, you name it. It's not the strongest filament out there, so I wouldn't recommend it for anything that needs to withstand a lot of stress or heat. But for most everyday projects, PLA is a great place to start. Next up, we have ABS, or acrylonitrile butadiene styrene, which is a mouthful, but it's a workhorse of a filament. If PLA is the friendly golden retriever, ABS is more like a trusty old pickup truck, tough, reliable, and maybe a little rough around the edges. ABS is known for its strength, durability, and heat resistance, so it's perfect for printing functional parts, tools, and anything else that needs to withstand a bit of abuse. It's also relatively inexpensive, which is always a bonus. However, ABS does have a bit of a temperamental side. It requires a higher printing temperature than PLA, and really benefits from a heated bed to prevent warping. It also tends to give off fumes while printing, so good ventilation is key. Trust me, you don't want to be stuck in a room full of ABS fumes. But if you're willing to put up with a little bit of drama, ABS can be a really rewarding filament to work with. It's great for printing things like mechanical parts, phone cases, tools, and even Lego-like bricks that actually snap together. Just remember to wear your respirator and let your prints cool down before you handle them too much, because ABS can be a bit brittle when it's hot. Now, let's talk about PETG, or polyethylene terephthalate glycol, which sounds like something you'd find in a chemistry lab, but it's actually a really versatile and user-friendly filament. Think of it as the love child of PLA and ABS, combining the best of both worlds. PETG is known for its strength, durability, and ease of printing. It's not quite as strong as ABS, but it's still pretty darn tough and can handle a lot of wear and tear. It's also less prone to warping than ABS, so you don't need to be as meticulous about your printing settings. One of the things I love about PETG is that it's relatively easy to print with. It has a lower printing temperature than ABS, and doesn't require a heated bed, although it can help with adhesion. It also doesn't give off as many fumes as ABS, so you can get away with less ventilation. PETG is a great choice for a wide range of projects, from functional parts and tools to decorative items and prototypes. It's also food safe, so you can use it to print things like cookie cutters and other kitchen gadgets. Just make sure to wash them thoroughly before using them with food. You know, hygiene and all that. Now it's time to get bendy with TPU, or thermoplastic polyurethane, which is a mouthful, but it's basically the rubber ducky of the filament world. It's flexible, durable, and surprisingly strong for something that feels like, well, rubber. TPU is known for its elasticity and its ability to withstand repeated bending and flexing without breaking. It's also resistant to abrasion, chemicals, and UV light, so it's a great choice for outdoor applications. Plus, it's surprisingly satisfying to squish in your hand. Printing with TPU can be a bit trickier than printing with some of the other filaments we've talked about, but it's definitely doable with a little bit of practice. It requires a bit of a lower printing temperature than PLA and a well-calibrated extruder to prevent jamming. But trust me, the results are worth the effort. TPU is perfect for printing things like phone cases, wearables, flexible joints, gaskets, seals, and anything else that needs to be both strong and flexible. You can even print your own custom earbud tips, which is surprisingly life-changing if you've never found a pair that fits quite right. Last but not least, we have nylon, which is like the superhero of the filament world. It's incredibly strong, durable, and has a low coefficient of friction, which means it's super slippery. Imagine a Teflon-coated superhero costume that's nylon. Nylon is known for its high tensile strength, which means it can withstand a lot of pulling and stretching before it breaks. It's also resistant to abrasion, chemicals, and heat, so it's a great choice for mechanical parts and tools. Plus, it's self-lubricating, which means it doesn't need any additional lubrication to reduce friction. Printing with nylon can be a bit challenging, as it requires a higher printing temperature than most other filaments and a heated bed to prevent warping. It also tends to absorb moisture from the air, which can cause printing problems, so it's important to store it properly in an airtight container with desiccant packs. But if you're up for the challenge, nylon can be an incredibly rewarding filament to work with. It's perfect for printing gears, bearings, hinges, and other mechanical parts that need to be both strong and low friction. You can even print your own custom zip ties, which is surprisingly satisfying. And there you have it, a crash course in the wonderful world of 3D printing filaments. I hope you found this video helpful, and maybe even a little bit inspiring. Remember, choosing the right filament is crucial for successful 3D printing, so don't be afraid to experiment and find what works best for you. There's a whole universe of filaments out there to explore, each with its own unique properties and potential applications. So go forth, my fellow makers, and create something amazing. Don't forget to subscribe for more 3D printing tips and tricks. See you in the next video.